What is up, Scarknight, bringing you another update of Pokemon Sun and Moon, the 7th generation, where I'm going to talk about all the latest things. And the latest thing is that, well, there was a trailer and there was a new thing that just came out, like, this morning. And let me start off with I'm going to consider this the non-important stuff, because in the trailer they revealed the big festival, right? Like that's what the thing is, and Sophocles runs the place, and you get all these type varieties of things that you could do. Basically what the festival is because you could win festival coins and then purchase certain items and stuff like that. This is essentially just like Black 2 and White 2 when it comes to the Joint Avenue, where basically you run this vicinity, you talk to somebody, they suggest things, they go like, oh, you should add this store here and this store here, and then that'll get you some more, some more attention to go to these stores or go to this certain place that you could name after. And basically what it is that, it could be either online or offline. It really doesn't matter because there'll be NPCs regardless. Basically they'll ask you like what catchphrase to use, stuff like that, so you can say Whippy. That's what the demonstration was in the trailer, and they would say, oh, this is the best place, Whippy, enter catchphrase here, da 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 da, which store should I go to? And then you recommend a store, they'll give you points, it ranks up your stores, exactly the same as Joint Avenue. It's just a 3D model version of it. So you'll get items that you'll get no other place, and the more upgrades you get, the more it'll be unlocked. So for example, as you saw in this, there's like a screenshot showing a set to all the regions, and for some reason there wasn't a Kanto region and there wasn't an Alola region. But the fact is, it's because it's not upgraded to the maximum yet. Because there's some stores that you'll see has 1 star, some has 4 stars. It really depends how much investment you're gonna rank up, and then Sophocles will let you know what's the next upgrade for that, or the store's upgrade, So yeah, you'll get more customization options in some stores. The drift blend place is called like it's like ping pong something. It improves the stats of the Pokemon. And yeah, like I said, customizations. There's like Team Navy Blue, Team Green, Team Yellow, and most likely Team Red. But the most important thing about this Joint Avenue festival thing is that in the Spanish version of a screenshot, it shows all the stones that are available. And for the first time ever, it says that there's an ice stone. It said Piedra de Hielo, which is ice stone in Spanish. Because there's also like Piedra de Fuego or something like that. So there's an ice stone. It's most likely to evolve Vulpix, Alolan Vulpix, into Alolan Ninetales. Because, you need Vulpix to evolve into Ninetales via Firestone. So that's kind of interesting, and hopefully they'll introduce some more Pokemon that evolves using an Ice Stone. Well, more likely yes, but a lot of people are speculating that maybe Eevee will evolve into Glaceon via Ice Stone. But then if they do that, then they have to do that for Leafeon as well. I'm pretty sure they're still gonna have the Icy Rock and Moss Rock somewhere in the game, because they have to have that variety of evolving a Pokemon in a certain area, certain specific area. The next thing that they introduce is that besides the downloading the game and pre-ordering early, you'll get a Munchlax with holding the Snorlax Z, and then Snorlax will have like pulverizing pancake or something like that. And yeah, there's also 2 other Z moves that was introduced in the trailer, and it was the Ghost Z move and it was the Fighting Z move. The Ghost Z move is called Never Ending Nightmare, I believe, and the fighting one is called All Out Pummeling, I believe, something like that. It's like along those lines. So I'm not quite sure what it is because I don't see it in front of me at the moment. But yeah, the whole point of me talking about the Snorlax is that it says if you use the demo version of the game, because the demo is coming out. I believe it's coming out in October 17th of 2016, is that you could get yourself a Greninja, but not only a Greninja, a different ability Greninja that explains a lot and uses Synchro, and it's called Battle Bond, which means if Greninja kills a Pokemon, he actually turns into Ash Greninja, and you're able to use him. Now the only difference is, besides the facial features of Greninja and some markings on his body, he also has the giant shuriken on the back, which is really cool. I'm not sure how much stats improvement is there, and it's kind of interesting, like thinking about the future, if there ever will be a Mega Greninja. What if Greninja has the ability Battle Bond and has his Mega Evolution ready? What would it look like, you know? But of course that's thinking way too soon, because they're not gonna have a Mega Evolutions. But speaking of that, Mega Evolutions has been confirmed to come back. Dexio and Cena, or whatever her name is, tells you about it. It tells you that your Z-Move ring bracelet has a Mega Bracelet on it, like able to put and activate Mega Evolution. And it looks like it's more likely on Pony Island, which is the southwest island, and that's where they're gonna tell you about Mega Evolution. And I believe they give you an Alakazite. Now I don't know if Alakazam will be available. I don't know if Kadabra will have an easier way to evolve it. I'm not quite sure, but it's interesting nonetheless. And no other Mega Evolutions has not been introduced yet. That's grammarly incorrect, but I'm gonna roll with it. But there is a couple new things, new Pokemon. Let's go start off with Rowlet's evolution, because the starter Pokemon has evolutions. It is Dartrix, and it is the Blade Quill Pokemon, and it says in the description right here, Dartrix is extremely sensitive to others' presence in the area, and it can detect opponents behind it and throws feathers to strike them without even seeing them. This Pokemon conceals sharp bladed feathers inside his wings, showing outstanding precision as it sends them flying in an attack. And it goes beyond, propelling its blades quill in simple straight lines. It can even bend these feathers to change the trajectories, and revealing certain snobbiness in its personality. Dartrix cares a great deal about its appearance, grooming its feathers in every spare moment. In truth, it is also a bit of a bird brain. That's very nice Pokemon to say, but with a tendency to bungle things up. Once it makes a mistake, it sometimes gets into a desperate struggle to gloss over the situation and ends up making a bigger mess than ever. At times, this Pokemon feels so bothered by its dirty or ruffled feathers that it can't focus on battle. When it loses its focus, it sometimes even retires from battle on the spot. It's up to each trainer to help Dartrix overcome this troublesome stage. If this Pokemon is with a trainer who helps it through, its strengths will grow hugely. Now that's kind of awkward to say, because that's not an ideal Pokemon for someone to use. And just looking at this Pokemon, like, the design wise, it's headed to the direction of what I would expect of what it would look like. You know, like I said before, I thought the evolution would more goes to the owl that's in Avatar, that really treasures knowledge and treats books with knowledge. And right now it's in this awkward teenager emo phase, but based on the description, the personality is very specific, and it's making it seem like it just messes up on a constant basis. That's kind of weird, and I could very much imagine this in the anime. That's when I think of this, I think of Chikorita when she messes up and she tries to do other things and ends up in trouble or something like that. When I think of this, I pretty much think of the episode where Chikorita is jealous of Pikachu and she wanders off and she sleeps in like a warehouse, and like these three fighting Pokemon, I think it was like Machoke, Hitmonchan, and Primeape or something, started messing with her. So that's just what I think of. The next Pokemon is my more favorite evolution, is Lynn's evolution, Torracat. Now Torracat I do like, and you know, there's someone I know that likes the evolution. It would prefer it more if it was standing on two legs. I, for one, doesn't really matter to me. I always wanted a lion Pokemon, and this is a tiger Pokemon, so close enough. And I always wanted it just to stay on four legs. I mean, it really, like I said, it really doesn't matter to me, but I like the design of it. For some reason, it really reminds me of a Bastiodon's head, like this outer shape. Cause I don't know, well, it's not square, but like in certain angles, it makes it look like that. I don't know why, but yeah, it has really big meaty claws, but it looks cool. I really like it. At least that's what it looks like in 3D. Cause picture form, it looks regular, but when it's in 3D, it kind of stands out, and it almost looks like a fire bobcat in a way. And that thing on his neck is a fire sac, and what that is pretty much every fire type Pokemon has one. They make it known in like Pokemon like Vulpix that has like fire sac either on their stomach or inside their neck. So not really on their stomach, but inside their stomach. And apparently every fire Pokemon, I already said that, but like I was gonna say like Growlithe has it in Vulpix and so on and so forth. So it's kind of interesting to see the fire sac visibly, and it moves depending on what mood you are, and you can see it when when you're using a move that is actually really active. And even in Pokemon, I don't know if it's Pokemon Me or something like that, but if you touch it, you get hot, like it just burns your hand or whatever. And as for Dartrix, I know that if you mess with the feather, he likes it because, well, I mean, like, you know, combing it, that is, he'll really enjoy it. But yeah, it says right here for Torracat though, the bill-like object attached to the base of Torracat's neck is his fire sac, an organ that can produce flames. Torracat's emotion cause a rise in the organ's temperature, and when the organ spits flames rather, it rings with the high clear sound of a bell. Torracat attacks using the flame emitted from this bell. Torracat's mane serves as an excellent sensory organ, and it can sense that what's going on around it, even in the dark. Apparently, it could also detect the presence of hidden enemies. Torracat has a great love for battle. It will attack and relentlessly. Wait, what? Attacks so relentlessly that his opponents lose their will to fight, and yet sometimes behaves like a spoiled child in front of the trainers of Pokemon with whom is built as a relationship of trust. The cat punch that this Pokemon can dish out with his strong force legs is extremely powerful. It can bend iron bars and knock out large men with a single blow. It punches things. Okay, so if you know about the rumors, it's interesting to say that there's some leaks that Nintendo actually, you know, asked these people to take down, where their final evolutions are going towards like the archer wrestler siren thing, and based on this, it sounds like they're going actually for the fire wrestling, fire fighting type, because what they were planning for, I suppose, is Dartrix to become an archer and Torracat to become a wrestler. So it'll be on two legs, and it'll look like, well, I don't know, it might look incredible like in 3D, because it's just so much different in 2D. Because like I said, Torracat, for example, in the picture it just looks like a regular cat, but in the game it looks amazing. But yeah, there's one more, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce this. It's like Brione is the Popplio evolution, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I kinda don't like this Pokemon very much. It's very gender specific. It doesn't, what I mean by that, like, I feel like starter Pokemon should be gender neutral, because, like, for example, if a boy starts playing a game and like he wants to try out all the starters, he wants to have a main idea of what he wants to get or something like that, instead of just leaning towards of what he usually gets. Like, for example, I was a kid and well, no duh, but I would always lean towards fire type Pokemon unless I have a reason to choose other Pokemon, because, you know, even if I replay the game, I would always like to pick this starter next and then this starter next. But if I have a hard choice like I did in 4th gen, where I'm all like, I really like Turtwig, I really like Piplup and Chimchar, and their final evolutions is really close, it really doesn't matter what I pick, that's the best option to deal with. Not really like when it's gender specific, because just think about it in a little boy's perspective. He's not going to pick a pop star Pokemon that looks like it's meant for girls or something like that. I know that sounds a little bit sexist, but that's just how it is. And not only that, it's well, I mean, you could kind of tell that it will become a water fairy type at this point, but just the faces it makes too. It's like in that Pokemon Me thing when they're feeding the Poffins or something like that, it has this weird face. It's like yum or something like that. I don't know, but it's based off the Japanese pop star like girls that wear the dresses, the same type of dress, and they're performers pretty much. So I don't know what the evolution will look like, but if the rumors are true about the archer wrestler siren thing, the evolution will have long hair and be out a pop star, pretty much a gigantic pop star. Like it would be a superstar, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna stand out, I suppose. But Brione learns his dance by imitating the other members of his colony, and sometimes even learns dance from humans. This Pokemon is a hard worker and pours itself into its efforts until it has memorized each dance. As it dances, Brione creates a balloon after balloon in battle. It first sends an opponent in disarray with his dancing and then slaps his balloon into a target, causing the balloons to explode and deal damage. Brione can dance its perfect time with others even if they only just met. On moonlit nights, you can sometimes see throngs of... What the heck is throngs? What the heck? Of Brione dancing as one in perfect fluidity. Brione always acts cheery and positive, even when it's feeling sad. This Pokemon doesn't allow its sorrows to show. It's said that Briones will only reveal a sad expression to a Pokemon trainer to whom it has opened its heart completely. So very interesting nonetheless. So yeah, I find that interesting that at least it's positive in that rate. But there are other new things that has been revealed, that there were some leaks here and there of an Alolan Grimer. That is the next Pokemon, and that is Poison Dark type. The design is rather weird, and it is officially Poison Dark type. The art is like a grayish greenish blob thing, where it has this yellow mark, which is almost look like a goatee, but it's dripping. So originally, what I thought it was gonna happen is that when it becomes an Alolan Muck would have like a yellow beard, but like all over dripping or something like that. But that's not the case, because as you see here, like Grimer's, it's okay, but I kind of I thought what was gonna happen, or what the alternative, what I would have done, is just make it pink, and that's about it. But make it a completely different type, like fairy type, and just make it out of candy, just like how they did in Pokemon Sweet, because it makes sense, and then people would actually, go for that. But I'll take it back, because the trailer that just came out recently showed, well, I forgot to mention that about Grimer's teeth. That's important too, because those are crystallized toxins. But the evolution of Alolan Grimer is, of course, Alolan Muck, and Alolan Muck actually looks really, really cool. And it just has like these nails, and there's rocks all over, but those are also crystallized toxins, and there's really cool colors on him. Those colors moves and motions while he's in battle, which is really, really cool. So I wouldn't mind using them. But like the only thing is, for me, Alolan Pokemon, since they're alternative things, and I never mentioned this once, but I mean everybody knows it, like whoever played Insurgents or Zeta or Omicron, they did Delta Pokemon first. They kind of stray away from the original type to make a completely new type, And that's how I feel like it should be. It should be completely different types, because that's how they did for Vulpix and Ninetales, and that's what they did for Sandshrew and Sandslash. I'm okay with Rattata and Raticate, you know, having the normal type still, but and I'm okay with all the other Pokemon like Exeggutor still having the grass type, because how it wouldn't make sense for a pineapple tree not to be a grass type anymore. Then again, it is eggs, so it does count as poultry, so it'd be meat, even though it comes from chickens, and I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I feel like they should stray away from the type. And I thought they were gonna do poison rock type, but they're saying it's electric type, crystallized toxins, so I guess it makes sense. I'm not really sure where the dark type comes from, but it says that the way Grimer changed to Alolan form is because in the Alola region there's no way to throw away their trash. There's no island that they keep all their trash to put away. So they would have their Grimers eating this trash to get consumed, and eventually turned them into this Alolan form, and then of course it evolves into Muk. And weirdly enough, it doesn't smell, so that's cool. So yeah. So the next Pokemon that I would like to say for Pokemon evolutions is Bonsweet's evolution, which is Steenie, and it kind of just looks like a girl. I did not expect it to look like that, because you know, when a little plum apple thing turns into a little girl, I have some questions, because I thought you were going to be more bulbous throughout your whole evolution line. But I like Steenie, she's cool. She's been revealed recently as well, and yeah, pretty much she still has the same abilities with Leaf Guard and Oblivious, but the evolution, okay, so just imagine this, right? Ash sends out a Pokemon, and that Pokemon comes out as Serena. No, it's not Serena. It's Sarina, I suppose. Sarina is interesting to say the least. It looks awfully like Lilligant, but more detailed to it. Just minor differences here and there. Of course, with the long legs and I don't know. I just think of Lilligant when I see this Pokemon. But it has the ability Queenly Majesty as an optional or alternative ability, I should say. And any priority moves that you might dish out on it, it would actually, this ability would be activated and it will go first instead. So if you were to extreme speed, it wouldn't work, unless, because I know extreme speed is maximum priority, but with this ability is gonna negate it. So the word Sar is, it means Russian king, so Serena is female, well, it's just a queen pretty much, so that's where to get his name. I suppose the design looks like a Russian queen, because it does have a crown on his head, technically speaking. I mean, it's clever nonetheless, because that's where the bulb will end up being in the top of the head, of course, and interesting to say the least. And it says, Serena has the nature of a high-class nobility. Any Pokemon or human that approaches it with evil in mind will be punished forthwith. Forthwith. Even in turns its fearsome glare upon its own trainers, if the two of them are not fully in sync, or if its trainer orders it to use a move that will be ineffective. Only the strongest of Steenie are able to evolve. When this happens, the Steenie evolve with the blessing of other Steenies, and then it uses the strength to protect the Bonsweet. Serena is a high-kicking virtuoso? I don't know what that means. It has to hone these skills beyond the level achieved as a Steenie, and it becomes, and it attacks the graceful movements at the same time. And Fragrance memorizes its opponents dealing with the secondary attack. And it has the specific move Trop Kick. So yeah, that's I really like the fact that they said only the strong Steenies may evolve, not anything else, or else that'll be weird, because then there'll be weak Steenies evolving and there'll be weak Serenas. That makes sense. That's cool nonetheless, but I wonder how it evolves. But yeah, there's also a Cutie Fly evolution, which is Rumbombi, I believe, And I don't know what, I just heard rumors that people thought it was gonna turn into a mosquito Pokemon. I hate mosquitoes for one. I literally don't want any mosquito Pokemon to ever exist, except the fact that I know it will become one. I don't think it would ever become a fairy type. That would be too generous. I feel like it would just be bug poison or something, or maybe bug dragon. I don't know. That would be cool. At least I would actually consider using one day if it was bug dragon. Other than that, I know that I always figured that it was just a pixie Pokemon, so that's why I never thought so much about it. But yeah, Ribombee was seen in a screenshot briefly. It was like a split second, but people caught it, and people knew that was coming. So yeah. So how many Pokemon that I already introduced besides the second evolution starters? So Grimer, Muk, Bonsweet's evolution, that's 4. Ribombee. There's 3 more Pokemon, I'm sure. Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. So Jangmo-o also has a Pokemon evolution, and the evolution is called Hakamo-o or Hakamo-o. The way it looks, I actually like the way this looks. A lot of people prefer this look. Some people think it looks like one of those people that has bracelets throughout his body, because like those neck bracelets that people may have and the headgear and stuff like that. And yeah, it is dragon fighting type, bulletproof or soundproof ability. And the known moves it will have is Headbutt, Dragon Tail, and Sky Uppercut, which makes it devastating. Imagine if it was more special though, if it had like Aura Sphere or Draco Meteor, then I feel like it would be more devastating, rather than like typical physical Pokemon. Because obviously this is going to be the Facito Legendary, but I feel like there's plenty of more physical variants of Facito Legendaries. So it says when a Jangmo-o evolves into a Hakamo-o, it breaks from its fellows and begins to live on its own to train itself. Wherever it can find Pokemon to battle against, it seems to appear. Hakamo-o dances before battle to show its strength, clanging its scales together to make them ring out. When the dance reaches its climax, Hakamo-o bellows a fierce war cry to challenge its opponents. Its scales makes for a fine armor, so Hakamo-o doesn't worry about self-defense, as it makes multitudes of strikes and overwhelms its opponents. But as a result, the scales often become damaged to get torn off. They grow back immediately, so this does not cause Hakamo-o undue concern. In fact, it views the numbers of lost scales as proof of how ferociously it has fought, and it brandishes his bared arms and boasts of victory. If that doesn't sound like an epic Pokemon, I don't know what does. That sounds really cool. And there's yet another evolution after Hakamo-o. It is, I want to say the pronunciation is Kommo-o, because Kommo-o is kind of weird enough. But I had to get used to this design because there's overwhelmingly too many scales, but it's still, I'm already getting used to it. I really like this Pokemon a lot. It looks like a skinnier version of Tyrantrum, but it's cool. I really like it. Still Dragon Fire type. Classification Scaly Pokemon. I read that as scary Pokemon. Very light for what it looks like. It looks really tall, even though it's 5'3". I don't know. 172 pounds. It looks gigantic. I don't know why. It just looks big as heck. So known moves: Headbutt, Dragon Tail, Sky Uppercut, and the signature move, Clinging Scales. And this Pokemon, it says, at the end of his harsh training, Hakamo-o evolves into this overwhelmingly powerful form. It returns to the land of its birth, where it watches over the Jangmo-o from a distance. There is a legend that says Kommo-o is covered in glittering scales in order to drive away a great darkness covering this world. The reason these Pokemon seek out battle is to gain the power needed to defeat this darkness. When it detects someone approaching, this Pokemon rings the scales of its tails and announces its presence. It has no desire to battle against weak Pokemon. Kommo-o's greatest moves is the uppercut. It swings his arms up from below and punches the great skill and force, sending the foe flying from the sky. By raising its soft aloft, it can generate a force powerful enough to change the fact of the surrounding landscape. Oh, that sounds really freaking cool. That sounds amazing. I want to use this Pokemon now. Kommo-o. Legend says that it knows that there's a darkness coming and troublesome in this world, and it's trying to stop it. That's cool as heck. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to catch Jangmo-o's early on. If you can, that would be amazing, but yeah. Alright, so there is an extra trial captain, which is Lilimia. I'm pretty sure it's a dude that is in the first island. Maybe the first trial captain that you'll be seeing. And most likely the one that will give you your first ever normal type Z move, because he is of the normal type. There was people speculating that he would be a bug type because the fact is they're in the forest, and since there was already a grass trial captain, that they assumed that this was the alternative, but it's not the case. And it might be the case that since the trial captain is Lilimia, it might be his Pokemon, his totem Pokemon, that will be you'll probably be facing. Like you'll be going up against Gumshoes and the Alolan Raticate. And the next and final thing about this is that there's another Kahuna, which is in Akala Island. Her name's Olivia, and she represents the rock type. Now, it makes sense for all the islands to have Kahunas in them. Maybe this is where it comes from. I'm not really sure if what trial captains classify as, if they're like below gym leaders or over gym leaders, or if Kahunas are considered the gym leaders or they're over gym leaders. I'm not really sure. I'm going to say Kahunas are over gym leaders, but Olivia is the Kahuna, and we can see that she has a nose pass. So if there is totem Pokemon for her to go against, I mean, Lurantis is already said to be the totem Pokemon, and most likely Mala it's her Pokemon for you to go against or something like that. But yeah, for Hala, you go against his totem Pokemon, which is Tapu Koko, of course. And like I said, I think it's just nose pass for right now. But I want to say that the Rockruff evolution, is it Loco Rock? I keep forgetting the names, but I'm pretty sure Olivia's gonna use Lycanroc is the thing. But there is one final Pokemon that I want to talk about, and that Pokemon is the great type Knoll, the infamous type Knoll, or it could be just famous, I don't know. But type Knoll has an evolution, and that evolution was set to reveal soon, because it was already been announced that there was going to be an evolution towards the leak with the Alolan Grimer, and they were saying about Jangmo-o's evolution, and they showed them in the pictures. But type Knoll has not, it's weird because type Knoll didn't have a picture, but they did have a name. The Japanese name was like Sylvani or something like that, but the evolution is Sylvali, and its mask broke off, and the coloration, instead of gray fur, is now white, and its tail's bigger, and everything's pretty much bigger, and it's amazing. I really like the way it looks. It came out epic in the trailer, and Gladion, of course, you can see him on his side. It is a synthetic Pokemon, of course, with the ability Arceus system. Arceus, of course, is like a weird way of saying Arceus, because this is a replication of Arceus. We all know this now for sure because of the ability, which is, we all know this because of this ability pretty much changes any Pokemon type depending on what item is holding. So if you give it most likely a Flame Orb, it would become Fire type and immune to the Flame Orb, or or toxic orb or whatever item. They're gonna try and make enough items, of course, obviously, for you to use it pretty much. Really interesting nonetheless. I really like this Pokemon. It makes him more of a threat, and he has a signature move known as multi-attack. And it says right here, when type Knowles gains a partner it can trust, it deliberately destroys the restraining device it wears. Once it released from that heavy mass, the Pokemon's speed increases substantially. Freed of the restraining effects of its mass, Silvali's senses are heightened, and it reverts to its natural temperament. It has a wild nature, but it will obey a trainer that it trusts as it protects that, and to protect the trainers from its danger. It will put its own life on the line. Silvally is said to have been created to oppose a threat. By inserting an inclusive item into the drive on Silvali's head, the Arceus system can be activated, causing Silvali's cinematic cells to mutate and glow. Arceus system enables it to change its type, and cells glow with a different color of light depending on its type. So yeah, of course, on the feathers that will change the colors, and the eyes, and with all the different sides of this Pokemon of what it may be, like I think that the tail kind of looks Gyarados-ish or Carvanha-ish in a way. Still, it looks more Gyarados like right now, the way I'm looking at it. And the skin of the lower body looks like Seviper, but the legs kind of look like Absol still, and the forelegs, the front forelegs, kind of reminds me of Scyther, even though Scyther doesn't have those type of legs. But yeah, it looks kind of like Absol in a way. It has the mouth of a Mightyena almost, and the mask kind of reminds me of a Skarmory. As for the wing, I don't know. It kind of looks Pidgeot in a way, Pidgeot-esque, but interesting nonetheless. There's a lot of speculation going through these Pokemon, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that would be it for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to press that like button. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, please watch one of my videos. I already said this shit. Alright, cool. Bye.